But I want you guys to have a little bit of my trading background so you understand that you haven't paid for a service with somebody who's teaching theory, which is typically what you end up with when you go to college. If the guy in your college class could do the things he's teaching, he wouldn't be there teaching them. For example, if you were in business school, he would be out there in business making multiple six-figure income instead of standing in a classroom with a patch on his elbow teaching about how to be successful, in my opinion, theory. So who is Crypto J? Crypto J has a 15-year background in trading, of which those 15 years, there's been about 3 or 4 years I got completely out of trading, and I'll share that with you in a minute. But I started my trading career in stocks, and I quickly lost about $50,000. And at that time, I could afford to lose $50,000. It wasn't the end of the world for me. That lasted about a year. Then the next year, I went on to make about $500,000 trading. Well, what I thought was trading. Come to find out, I wasn't trading at all. I was just gambling. But I was pretty good at gambling, it turns out. So then I got wind of this market called options, where I proceeded to go, hey, if I do my gambles in the options market, I can make even more because of the high leverage. And so I set out to do that and lost that next year about another $50,000. So all in all, in 3 years, I hadn't learned a whole lot. I felt like I had, but I really hadn't. And, I was still up about $400,000, so it wasn't the end of the world. The next thing that happened to me was I got approached by a gentleman who started sharing the Forex market with me. And trading is just like that. Let me show you on a chart what I'm talking about. In trading, we always, we buy people's fear and we sell people's greed. Okay? That's your first lesson on the chart. We, say it again, we buy people's fear and we sell people's greed. I'm going to tell you straight like it is, and I'm going to punch you right between the eyes on everything I teach you. It's for your own good. If you've never had a coach before and you're offended, don't come back and get out of trading. Go find someone that'll tell you to get in a coin just when you want to hear them tell you to get in a coin. I'm trying to teach you guys how to change your lives forever in a financial marketplace that in a couple years it won't be 230 billion, it'll be 7 trillion. And it's going to happen just that fast. So anyway, last week we talked about basically getting you guys to a position where you start to think like a contrarian. And in doing so, I hope you guys, and I've seen, because I can always tell how many times the video gets played, based on the number of people that were in the room, there's some people doing some studying and going back and doing exactly as I suggested, which was to listen to it the first time, go back and listen the second time, and now study it. Stop it and pause it and stop it and pause it and go ahead and take your notes. So we're going to continue that, but this week we have a different topic, and this is again part of your foundation. And this week's topic is going to be on financial literacy, and then on the second part of the session today, we're going to move into money management. Wherever that hits and starts to go back, that's your next trend line, and you can actually build your trade all the way up, And I teach people how to layer into trades. So for example, and we're getting a little off topic, but it applies. All this applies to money management. Let me show you how it applies like with EOS, okay? So here on EOS, if this market is not too bullish on EOS, I'm expecting a pullback on EOS to be somewhere between $1.50 and, let me do some math. Actually, $1.25 and $1.75. So give yourself that 50 cents window. This is phenomenal. Okay, this is like make your money now. I want my money and I want it now. I still have greed in me, guys. I'm not immune to greed. So understand, I will teach you along the way, if you'll follow me, how to have a layered position that when you get done at the end of 2018, when I see EOS, here's a tip. Everybody raise your arms. Here comes my elbow. Crash right into your ribs. When I see EOS being But anyway, what I wanted to do real quick was I wanted to go over a couple of these plays that we've been talking about the last few weeks and give you guys some ideas of what to be looking for. I mean, obviously, last week in our class, we talked about quantum. I talked about the fact that there was a good, just simple swing trade setting up. I talked about the fact that I'm in this coin with two different positions, one of which I'm holding, and another one of which I was looking for that swing trade, which we got. That swing trade was easily a 70–80% swing. And now at this point, even over 100% for me. So I hope some of you guys were able to grab some of that. I mean, after we talked about it in the room, it hung around for a good 12 hours at those same prices. So anybody that wanted to could have basically gotten involved in that. So on Ethereum, I mean, we can literally go to a couple $1,000s here without breathing very hard at all. And when you look at a weekly time frame, you get a little bit bigger picture than just looking at the daily. Because when you have a big move like this that's impulsive on the weekly, and then you have your retracement, which is such a bullish pattern. I mean, this retracement is so bullish. It didn't do this. It didn't do this. It didn't go like this, right? It actually just fell a little compared to the rise, and then went back to the high, and then fell a little less, and then went close to the high, and then fell a little less and went up. I mean, this is extremely, extremely bullish movement here on Ethereum, right in there. So there's another 7,000%. But just remember, there's a rule on wave 3. Wave 3 is it cannot be the shortest wave. Well, if we have wave 1 already established, and that was 7,000%, then wave 3 has to be at least 7,000% because it can't be the shortest. So it has to be at least 7,000.